In the drill down, Cory Johnson takes a look at the company news behind a stock on the move, and today it is Rackspace. What do you got for us?
Rackspace is an interesting company. It's been a very hot stock because of its association with the cloud. If you look at what happened with the stock over the course of the last year, it's had a pretty dramatic move. But if you look at the course since the IPO back in August 2008, the stock's up nearly 250%, a fantastic move, up 30% in the last year, despite the recent sell-off. And the reason the market gets so excited about this is because the dramatic change going underneath the numbers, the rising influence of the cloud. If you look at the company's results and their sales, their cloud revenues as a percentage of revenues, you see the cloud business, while 6 quarters ago it was just about 11%, 10.8%, that's all of a sudden up to 17%. And the reason is because of the growth of that business. Dig the growth of the cloud business, the rate of growth, the year-over-year growth. You're looking at a business that's growing big and fast and continuing to grow. I mean, look at last quarter at 85%. The quarter before that, 92.6% year-over-year growth. So their business of putting information up on the cloud and letting customers access that information on the cloud is showing some stunning growth, and that's caught the attention of Wall Street. I think that is the reason why the stock has had such a big move over the course of the last 2 years. People wanting to participate in the companies putting their businesses on the cloud and that transformational stuff that we're talking about with Oracle, we're talking about it with HP, we're talking about it with Amazon, and we're certainly talking about it with Rackspace. Emily?
Thanks. All right, now we're going to learn a lot more about this. Now we've got the CEO and president of Rackspace, Napier, with us here on set. Thanks for joining us here on Bloomberg.
Thanks for having me over.
Let's start with the bigger picture. Look, Cory drilled down there, but let's go bigger. This is a market where Amazon is #1, you're #2. Microsoft and IBM are trying to get in there. But is this really a two-horse race between you and Amazon?
Right now it is. I think the market's growing at an exponential rate. Technology is going through a big shift from do-it-yourself to buying it as a service from the cloud. We're an early leader in the cloud, and we're staking our pole around being the service leader in cloud computing.
So what do you have on Amazon?
Fanatical support. It's real simple. We live in a technology world where companies don't take accountability for the outcomes they produce. Right? They put it on the customer's shoulders to generate great outcomes. At Rackspace, we own that outcome for our customers. We call it fanatical support.
Well, you know, Amazon had a big outage earlier this year. A lot of companies went online. Did you guys get any customers out of that?
Things go wrong in computing. As long as we have technology, there will be outages and interruptions. The issue isn't about having an interruption. The issue is how do you respond to it. In today's world, people want transparency. They want an immediate response, and they want to feel like they are in trustworthy hands. That's what we try to do at Rackspace.
Is your biggest source of new customers people that try out the cloud on Amazon and then come to you, or is your biggest source new people who are new to the cloud?
Today, the biggest
cloud
source,
customers.
Got it. Today, the biggest source is people coming into the market. You know, cloud's a new technology disruptor. It's getting a lot of attention. Everybody's trying it today, and they're just huge chunks of companies that are coming through, and that's our growth.
Well, it seems to be one of the problems. You know, when I was an investor, I look at businesses like yours and say, geez, the cost of the capital expenditure costs just never go away. You're continually spending money to upgrade your data centers, and you can slow that down for certain periods of time, throw out some free cash flow, but then you got to go right back in and invest.
Right.
Well, is there a point at which it starts to be a flywheel and starts to work better? There are economies of scale that haven't been there start to appear?
I think you're seeing some of that already. I mean, if you look at our key metrics that we published, you can see our return on capital climbing. You can see our capital turns climbing. The nice thing about cloud technology is it makes our business more capital efficient. So we think the faster the cloud grows, the better our numbers are going to look.
What are you seeing in terms of macroeconomic trends impacting the business? Obviously, the economy here and elsewhere not doing so well. Is that impacting your customers and how much they want?
Yeah, we are in the new normal. Right? We should all expect volatility and shop for quite a while. The crazy thing about our business is that the worse it gets, the more enterprise opportunity we have. When times are tough, people are looking for new ways to do things. We're the new way to deliver IT. So in many ways, while it's not as good as the go-go boom days, when times are choppy, it favors us. We're on the right side of that equation right now for our customers.
Now, in the second quarter, cloud business revenue accounted for 17% of total revenue, yet the business is growing at 3 times that rate. How long will the cloud account for a greater portion of your revenue?
Oh, for years. You know, what's happening basically from our customer's point of view, everything we do is cloud. There's a new technology architecture emerging where we stitch together legacy architectures on dedicated gear to new architectures and cloud infrastructure. pulling these things together from our customers' perspective is what's driving our growth.
And that's something Amazon's probably not doing. But talk to me a little bit about without getting too lost in the weeds, there's a new sort of platform of the cloud, the OpenStack.
Yes.
You guys have been starting to adopt that. What's the status of that right now?
We collaborate with NASA to launch OpenStack.
Right.
In every technology market, there's two ways to do things. There's a proprietary closed model, which is what VMware is doing in cloud, and there's an open source model, which is what we're doing with OpenStack. This is just like Windows and Linux. OpenStack to the cloud is going to create the open source cloud operating system. It's already de facto that standard today.
And so you guys, are you guys fully implementing that as much as they're going to be?
Yes. I mean, we're in the process of porting our cloud onto OpenStack now. We're not through with that yet. We're halfway there with the storage offering.
So when do you think it'll be there with the storage?
End of the year.
Fully complete?
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about how Amazon is leveraging its whole business to build out Amazon Web Services. They just released the Kindle Fire, their new tablet. It doesn't have a ton of memory, but anything can be stored on the cloud, essentially. Does that give Amazon an advantage over you, as a company that specializes in this?
We are focused on serving businesses. I think the Kindle is really targeted more to consumers. So there's a consumer cloud when we go to Google Apps and an iTunes App Store that as a consumer we're buying a piece of music or a travel app or something like that. Our business is really about helping our customers that are other businesses get online and get on the cloud. So it's really a different target.
Give me a profile of your sort of best customers, the customers who are able to ring your cash register a lot. What are they trying to do? What transformation is going on at their business? If you want to name one, that's fine too.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think in generally, the best customers that we serve the best, where we have the greatest fit, to where they're happy with what we're doing and we feel we do great work for them, their business is going through a transition. They used to run IT themselves. They want to buy it as a service going forward. So these are companies that are taking applications that used to sit in their data center and they want to make it customer facing on the web. Okay, so
give me an example of kind of a
Under
business.
Armour.
Under Armour.
Okay, so Under Armour, the athletic apparel maker, we run a big chunk of their systems that power their e-commerce site. So if you go to underarmour.com and you're purchasing apparel from Under Armour, that's running off Rackspace systems. That's a perfect fit for us.
But what was the change? Like, how do they used to do it and how do they do it now?
E-commerce engines move at web speed. This is very different than the way IT used to move inside of an internal department. So Under Armour recognized that we're a great partner and tool for them. So when they're trying to add burst capacity for a Super Bowl ad, and their site and application has to scale with that demand, the cloud's a perfect fit. This is where we come in to really help them out.
So they used to, so get the picture. So they used to build these systems themselves.
Yes.
They used to try to figure, okay, if we're going to have a lot more use, if we're going to run a Super Bowl ad, we've got to install more servers. We might have to have more software. And you guys are able to help them flick a switch and make that happen now.
We take all that off their shoulders.
I do have one, before you go, one more question quickly about security. Obviously, this is a hot button issue. How do you ensure that all of the information stored on your servers, how do you ensure that all of your customers are safe in a world where hacking is just becoming more and more prevalent?
Yeah, great question. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about security issues in general. Okay, the cloud's a maturing technology. All right, there are architectural advantages in the cloud versus internal data centers today. We have different security services that customers can purchase from us to make sure they feel safe.
All right, Lanham Napier, Rackspace CEO, thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on
Bloomberg West. All right.